episode 2 of my Eurovlog. How I got into fitness. Where to even start with this? There is no short version, so let's just go all the way back to the start. From a really early age, I was always really athletic. I was always really sporty. I was always running around causing trouble. Always. I played football as a kid, soccer for American and some Irish people. But I really found my love in rugby. I just became obsessed with trying to be a professional rugby player. When I was 12, 13, 14, I was getting up at 6 o'clock. It's funny now to say about fasted cardio, but I was going up and doing fasted sprint sessions at 12. And then I would have rugby training after school, in school. Then I would come home, I would go back outside, I would do more sprints, more agility work, and then I would do body weight workouts in my room. And people ask even now how I juggle my PhD and all my training. I've been doing that since I was 12, 13. My dream was to become a professional rugby player. Like a lot of kids, I got a scholarship to university, was playing semi-professional for a few years, got to a really high level, represented my province. I did a bit of athletics on the side. Naturally, I was really quick. I was always quite small. I was a winger, so speed was my thing. Fast twitch muscle fibers that stand to me now when I try and lift heavy. Got a scholarship to university, played rugby there. Some of you guys will know, some of you guys went to the university that I went to, maybe it's changed now, but at the time when you're on the senior team or when you're on the X team, you're a sought after guy. Not saying that was a motivation, it was just an added bonus. But yeah, that was kind of, it was just the done thing, the cool thing was to be on the rugby team. And I changed a few clubs for money here and there. Was playing at a reasonable level, and I knew at this point that I wanted to do a PhD, and I kind of had to take a back step. So it was a bit of that. I needed to take a back step and really focus on my studies. It was a mixture of, being honest, I was never really big enough to make it as a professional rugby player, or so I thought. And my make or break year, I got injured. I tore my Achilles pretty badly, was out for about 6 months. Mentally, that had a massive effect on me. Yeah, I just went off the rails. At that point, I was 22. I'd never really properly drunk before, which in Ireland is rare. Yeah, I would have had a few drinks here and there, but I never would have been drunk. So I got drunk for the first time in my life when I was about 21, 22. And I partied. I partied for about a year. And at the end of that summer, I made a split decision to up and leave and get a one-way ticket to San Diego. As a 21-year-old who's just found alcohol for the first time in his life. I don't need to go into details, you know, but it was good. I enjoyed myself, and rugby was the last thing on my mind. I felt like I never really loved rugby. I liked being good at something, and for the first time in my life I said, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do for a change. So when I was in California, what did I do? But I joined a gym. It was Gold's Gym, San Diego. And I remember to this day walking down the corridor on the way in and seeing all these photos of these magazine covers of some of the guys that train in that gym who'd made it onto the cover of some of these magazines. And it just blew my mind. Like from a kid who's from a very rural part of Ireland, to see something like that was, bear in mind I had moved to London at this point. I was living in Cork, in rural Ireland, and to see this was amazing. I was like, this guy is on the cover of a magazine and he trains in here? Wow. And I said to myself, like, I will never be on the cover of a magazine, but I want to almost look like one. Never in a million years did I ever think at that point that I would be on the cover of a magazine or a book or a novel or anything, or be sponsored by some of the biggest supplement companies in the world over the last few years. So I went back to Ireland, obsessed with the gym, finished my degree in biochemistry, dusted off my breast cancer research masters in Cork, applied for my PhD in London. I was surrounded by people who were doing shows, who were sponsored, who were doing shoots. And I was like, you know what? I can do this, Like, I'm going to give this a crack. And I booked my first photo shoot with Sean Barry. I'm going to leave his links below. He's a good friend of mine. We talk quite often still, and I'm planning on getting a few more shoots when I move back to Ireland. It's a really good investment. I'm going to pay, such and such to get this photo shoot done. And that's the only photo shoot I've ever paid for. So for those of you guys out there who are touch and go, pay for your first photo shoot, because you may never have to pay for one again. And eventually you'll, like now, get paid to shoot for brands, get paid to shoot all the time. So take that leap. Take that leap. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here right now. I just dieted for the first time. I started taking advice from various people. I started learning, started researching. Obviously, I knew quite a lot myself. I had a science background. I've been a science geek all my life, an A+ student in everything. I was pretty well clued into what I needed to do, and I got lean for the first time. Did the shoot, got the photos, and then things got a bit silly. Things exploded. And it just went from there. It was photo shoot after photo shoot, a supplement deal here, do this, join this company. And I just went for it. Literally, I said, no matter who came to me, no matter who emailed me, I said, yes, let's do it. I became a yes man. I was like, I don't care what it is. I don't care how difficult it's going to be to fit all of these different things in. I'm going to do it. And one thing that I massively took from Richard Branson's book is say yes. And find out how to do it, or how you're going to manage it later on. Do it for like a month, 6 weeks, and try and make it work. And more often than not, 99 times out of 100, I did make it work. I worked my ass off for the last 3 years trying to juggle a PhD and a business and do modeling and train twice a day and have clients. I've slept on average maybe 5 hours on average. Is that me grafting? No. It's me absolutely loving my life, and I have all these opportunities. Why would I want to sleep? I never ever, as that kid that walked into Gold's Gym that day, I never ever in a million years ever thought I would be here. I'm so grateful that I don't want to sleep. I'm buzzing off this. Like, I'm here in this beautiful hotel room and I'm buzzing like that. I can travel now and do whatever I want. And I've made this life for myself because I worked hard. If you find a niche that you're passionate about, if you find something that you love and you dedicate yourself and give enough time and energy and find that niche and outwork everybody in that niche, you will be successful. To me, success isn't about having money. It isn't about having loads of houses, having loads of cars. It's about being happy. And for me, when I do good work, I'm happy. It might not be fitness modeling, it might not be doing what I do, it might be nothing to do with fitness. But whatever it is, find something that you're so passionate about that it's such a cliche. Find something, that you love, that you'll do for free. But I promise you, if I could do what I'm doing now for free, I would still be doing it. The other thing that I get all the time is, Chris, you did 4 years undergrad in biochemistry. You did a year doing cancer research in breast cancer, and you did 4 years doing your PhD. You spent 9 years in university. What a waste. You're never going to use it. First of all, I use it every single day in my life, because you learn lessons along the way. I might decide that I want to go into pharmaceuticals. I might decide later that I want to go back into science. I didn't do any of those things to get a job. Nothing I have ever done within reason has been to get to a destination. Every single decision I made from a really young age was because I enjoyed doing it, because I loved what I did. I loved my undergraduate. I loved my master's, was probably my favorite. And then I went on to do my PhD. Every single thing I chose to do was because I loved what I did. And I said to myself, if I keep making choices that are going to put me in a position that I love what I do, I will be successful. And what do I mean by successful? I will be happy. And I am. Like, if I decide to go back into research, I'll be happy because I love doing that. But I've just found something now that makes me equally as happy, but I get to travel and I get to see the world and I get to take a step back from the books a little. Open my eyes and see the world in a light that I never really saw before. You know, for someone it might be fixing cars, it might be, you know, doing this, it might be, you know, being a doctor, whatever it is. Find what you love. Be so passionate about it that you will work so hard to be the best at your chosen field, and you will be successful. You will be successful. The only people I know who aren't successful are people that are in jobs that they really don't want to be in. So that's it, guys. Enough preaching. I'm over and out. Time to walk around this beautiful city, get some food, get some coffee.
Nowhere. Like, I mean,
we are on the way to Budapest. My new thing, just genau. What else do I need to know?
Bestimmt.
What's that mean?
For certain.
Bestimmt.
Sure.
Do you know any Hungarian?
No. Good
Do you know hello?
No. How do you say good day in Hungarian?
I'm gonna sit down, see what we got. Hungarian food.
This is a meat pancake. A Hungarian meat pancake.
Side salad. We've got some pork medallions, potatoes, and some ratatouille. We're going all the way up to this viewpoint. Wow. Here in Budapest, looking over the River Danube. That's where we're staying.
Yep.
This little guy. Looks like Budapest Palace. Rooms.
There's an extra bed in here.
Kidding.
No.
Right, this is hotel room view.
There's your gelato.
Oh my god.
Did you see the horse sausage?
No?
Sausage of horse. See the plank? Salmon?
Salmon.
Yeah, salmon.
Oh, this is it, right? These are awesome. We're going for our Budapest coffee. Frank's choice. Shock. It's an Italian. Frank's once again gone for peppermint tea. I've gone for a soy latte. One tip for setting up your own business or service.
Yeah. You got to find a big problem to solve. Generally speaking, most business owners are not thinking big enough about the impact they can make on their customers and the problem they're trying to solve. So my tip is, whatever you think you're doing, whatever problem you think you're trying to solve, go bigger. Like, always make it bigger. It's the business owner that's solving the big problems that makes the big money and stands out the competition.
Gonna go down, get some breakfast, but look at this view. What is this? Breakfast choices. A lot of breakfast choices are around here. As usual, eggs, bacon, coffee, little yogurt.